selfishly, I want the natural light for me.
Yes, that for me is a lot of money to spend on a plant.
Me too. That sounds like hell on earth.
For the last 3 years.
Would you rather have 75% off all plants, but they're infested with mealybugs? Okay, hello friends. I am back again with the lovely Claire at the Jungle Haven to play a game of Planty Would You Rather. Basically, I've come up with a bunch of little would you rather questions about plants, plant shopping, plant life, pests, everything.
Things.
And I figured I could ask Claire, I could talk about my answers. I've also asked over on Instagram so I can share what you, the general public, feel and see if we agree.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
Before we get into that though, I want to say if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch more of my videos and subscribe to my channel. If you are not new here, welcome back. I really appreciate you returning. Now let's get into these. Are you ready to play?
I am ready to play.
I'm so excited. Okay, so first question. Would you rather purchase all your plants online or all your plants in person?
Do I answer?
Yes. That's kind of the point.
Personally, I would prefer to purchase in person.
Yeah.
You get more of a say in exactly what you're getting, whereas you could order something online that it turns up not looking like the picture.
Yes. I think maybe it's just from, like, in general, like 90% of the plants I have in my home I've bought online.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think, especially when it comes to, like, rare, uncommon things, you don't see them in plant shops.
Yeah.
I've never seen, like, a rare plant in a shop that I've bought, except if I'm at, like, a plant show or, like, Malvern or something. And so,
Yeah.
in general, if I had to only pick one, I'd buy online because half the plants I see in supermarkets are sad.
But I also think that, like, like, imagine if you couldn't get anything online. It would kind of force you to go out and hunt down the places that were really exclusive, and more places would probably do rarer plants if you couldn't get them as...
Yeah, but this is just in our normal world. It's not, we're not changing all of society here.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I think I would still probably go in person, although I very much see where you do online.
Yeah, I mean, just mostly because that's just been my experience. We don't have very many great plant shops in London, at least, so.
Definitely don't buy them from me then.
Have a guess? Do you have any idea what people might have said?
I can imagine that being quite split.
Surprisingly, it's not split at all. 80% of people would rather buy in person, which
Oh, interesting.
I do think makes sense.
Interesting.
I do agree that it would be better if I could get those, like, rare, uncommon things, like unusual things in a, like, in-person environment. Yeah, absolutely. I've just not really found that the case where I am.
Yeah, I completely get that. I think, like, there's also... I mean, there's pros and cons to both, but there's something nice about going and, like, actually, like, picking up the plants.
Picking the one you want.
Being able to walk around with it a bit and being like, do I actually want this thing in my hands? And then sometimes putting things back. And whereas with online shopping,
so easy.
you put it in
your
your
cart,
basket.
in your cart, in your cart. Check out. Haven't even had to leave
yeah.
my seat. Probably had Apple Pay, so, like, I didn't even have to get my wallet out. Like,
Yeah.
Is it real money? I don't know. Like, it's just way too easy to buy online.
It's scarily easy. Yeah, scarily easy.
So I agree with everyone, but also I think if I had to only pick one right now in our current world, I'd only shop online.
Fair enough.
More variety.
Yeah.
Would you rather give away your most expensive plant or your oldest plant? I'd be curious to know which of them they are as well.
I think my oldest is probably my Alocasia portadora.
Yeah.
The plant that never dies.
It never dies, but it hasn't looked great in a little bit.
No, it hasn't. It was frozen solid. You helped me defrost it from my balcony a couple of years ago. That's my oldest plant, and I just feel an emotional attachment to that plant.
Of course.
I don't actually know what my most expensive...
I think it might be your Tycon. Have you spent more than £200 on a single plant?
Oh, maybe you're right, actually. Yeah, I think it probably was the the Tycon.
Because I feel like you've done bigger orders where you've spent more money, but it's not been on a single plant.
I guess that one, it didn't feel as massively expensive because it was such a huge plant and it was such a great price.
Yes, it was a great deal.
My Variegation, I paid 75, I think, for that, which felt like a...
It felt like a lot for a tiny little thing. But I'd say that's probably your most expensive plant. So would you rather get rid of your Portadora or your giant Tycon?
I'd get rid of the Tycon. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know. I don't think.
So okay, my oldest plant is my satin pothos.
Yeah.
It's
in your bedroom.
Yeah, well, it's in a mixed pot with a bunch of other stuff. So like, if I got rid of it, it wouldn't be in the world. I'd be sad about it, but it wouldn't like. And I think my most expensive plant is probably my Glorious. I think I spent 130 or something on it.
Oh, okay.
So I never really buy anything that expensive.
And your Glorious is glorious.
It is glorious.
Well. It's
And like, compared to a satin pothos, which is like quite easy to come by.
Yeah, although your satin pothos has those massive leaves.
No, not that one.
Oh, which one are you talking about?
The like normal Argyraeus. The little guy.
Oh.
The one in my mixed pot.
Oh, I see. Oh, I do. I still
That was
love
my
that
first
one.
ever plant. I love it. I wouldn't want to get rid of it.
Oh, wow, you still have your first ever plant?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, thanks.
That's really impressive. I definitely don't.
Yeah. So I think as sad as it would be, I think I would get rid of my oldest plant first.
Yeah,
because
that makes sense.
It sounds bad. It's quite easily replaceable these days.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like a Portador is not quite as easy to replace.
Not quite as easy, and I think maybe because it hasn't been an easy journey with that plant.
Yeah.
It's been through so many, I mean, God, 4 or 5 homes with me now.
Yeah.
Different conditions, different substrates, inside,
it's been huge,
outside.
It's been small.
Exactly. At one point it was bigger than me, and then it was giving me leaves a bit like that, and now it's got one leaf that is like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. This one was pretty evenly split. 48% said they would give away the expensive. 52% said they would give away the oldest.
That is it is a hard one though, isn't it? I can understand why that's so split.
It's very easy to go either way on that one.
Yeah. I think it's very personal as well because I think especially nowadays with such access to ultra kind of rare plants, it's very easy for people to prioritize the money over the emotion.
Yeah.
I don't think one is necessarily right or wrong because I think it goes different ways for different people. But you don't get necessarily as attached to your plants as you might do if you didn't have the insane variety to keep you on your toes all the time.
Absolutely. This one's a fun one.
Go on.
Would you rather have perfect light but no humidity, or perfect humidity but no light?
Oh, this is quite easy for me.
Yeah, which one?
I think I would go perfect light.
Yeah. I mean, that's what most people said. 89% of people said that.
Yeah, because you can add, it's so much easier to add a humidifier into a space than a whole grow light setup if you've got no natural light.
True. But with grow lights these days, it's actually not that difficult.
Yeah, I guess so. It's more cost to run, isn't it?
Yes. But also, just grow different plants. If you didn't want to get a humidifier, there's loads of plants that are fine on lower humidity.
Yeah, true.
Or you could slowly acclimate things to lower humidity as well.
I was going to say my humidity rate actually at the moment is 46%, which is low.
That is quite low.
But I haven't run my humidifier in here in about 3 months now.
Yeah?
And although typically it's a little bit higher, nothing really...
I don't run one at all.
Do you not? Oh, no,
mine's in my loft.
But you've also got really high levels of humidity in your flat, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I live in a flat in England. It's pretty humid on the daily.
You run a dehumidifier, don't you?
Yeah. Mostly to get our laundry dry, because in the winter our laundry just wouldn't dry for 4 days if we didn't have it.
God.
So
yeah.
Welcome to the UK, where we don't have dryers and it's just wet.
Yep. Apart from today, it's glorious.
It's lovely today. Would you rather have 75% off all plants, but they're infested with mealybugs, or pay double for all plants with a pest-free guarantee?
I'd pay double. That's an easy one for me.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Mealybugs are the worst.
Knock on wood, I've luckily not had to deal with them in any real way.
Lucky. Yeah, I mean, now that I've had them the once, they just crop up. Once you've had them, I think if you don't absolutely eradicate everything.
That's what I've heard.
Yep. And so now I have had mealybugs pretty much at all times, not on every plant, but like just sporadically here and there
That sounds like hell on
for
earth.
the last 3 years.
Yeah, that's awful.
It's not fun.
I need to shower before I go in and touch any of my plants. 82% of people agree.
Yeah,
I
nice,
think that makes sense. I think we'd all pay a little bit more to have like a pest-free experience.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's why you pay more at certain plant shops, isn't it? Because you know that the quality of what you're getting is going to be
higher. Yeah, absolutely. Would you rather have 100 common plants or 5 ultra rare ones? Like unicorn level.
So the only reason I'm dilly-dallying on this question is because I'm like, right now, circumstance might lead me to like go for less. But typically I would always pick the 100 common plants because most of my favourite plants are common plants anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
What would you go for?
I think this one is quite a difficult one. I think it helps that a lot of plants that used to be rare and uncommon are now on the common side.
Yeah.
So it's like things like the Cebu Blue, which is one of my all-time favorite plants. You can get like for nothing.
Yeah, in the UK it's become quite a common plant.
You can get it at like Walmart in the States. Like it's easy to get, and so like that's common, and that's one of my absolute all-time favorites. Whereas like in 2020 that would have been considered rare. I paid £15 for one single cutting.
Oh my god.
So like at that time I wouldn't have been able to have that if I chose the common plants. But nowadays I think I'd rather have 100 common plants. I basically do have 100 common plants in my house. I've got 109 plants.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you got? I was going to say.
I counted
recently.
Yeah.
Nice.
When I did my plant tour, I counted. I've got 109. So I've got 109 fairly common plants. Nothing that's like outrageous.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Most of mine are most of mine fall into the commoner bracket.
Yeah. Nothing's rare, unicorn level. I can't afford that.
No.
And I'd be too afraid to kill it.
Oh, I think there is that, like the pressure to keep something alive. If you've got all the time and energy to dedicate to like the plant. But I mean,
we do. This is our job.
Yeah, I feel like I don't right now.
That's fair.
But also, like ones that I've bought again, I feel like my variegated Sarian.
Yes.
Like again, that for me is still. I know I say I paid 75 quid for it. That for me is a lot of money to spend on a plant.
Me too.
And that feels so rare to me. I don't know how many people have that plant. I think
they're becoming much more common now with TC.
Probably, and like also I got some corms from my last one. One of them's putting a little root.
Exciting.
So it's obviously it is going to become more accessible. But for me, that feels like such an unusual plant that.
But I wouldn't consider ultra rare anymore.
No. But like the ultra rare plants community, I mean, they're just insane stuff nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, but like. Pretty much anything. I can't think of very many plants that would ever stay ultra rare.
Definitely not nowadays, like you say, with tissue culture.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do think actually perhaps rare plants is going to be a little bit of a dying market.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that the things that we consider ultra rare might just be, I don't know, like endangered species that aren't actually... Maybe they don't look that nice, but people... I mean, like, for example, the weird and wonderful one that I'll put... What's it called?
Oh, yeah, your living fossil one.
Yeah, living fossil. That's, like, not... Like, a lot of people would look at that and go, no, I don't want that, but, like...
It's really cool.
It's really cool, yeah. Maybe that will become more of a... Market. Don't know.
Maybe. Interesting. I was surprised by how divided this one was. 57% of people said 100 common.
Oh,
and
interesting.
43% of people said 5 ultra rare. I'm surprised by that just based off of our answers, both being common. I mean, obviously there's a market for everything out there, and some people want to have those fancy 5 rare ones.
Yeah.
But like that division surprises me.
I was going to say I was actually quite surprised by that as well.
Yeah. Well, this is all in a hypothetical universe. So. Have fun with your 5 ultra rare plants.
What would they be? Comment them down below.
Yes, let us know. Would you rather have unlimited budget for plants but very limited space, or unlimited space but no budget?
When you say no budget, like you can buy a plant a year, like
You don't have any disposable income you can spend. If you buy a plant,
you have space but no plants.
well, you have your collection you have now, like with what you've got now.
But you have loads of space.
But you just have tons more room.
I think I'd pick that.
You'd pick space.
I think right now I would pick space.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would as well. If I had to start over with nothing, then you just wouldn't have plants. You just have loads of space but no plants.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't pick that one.
No. Although I guess like if you were getting like little cuttings here and there very cheaply.
I'm sure you could find like on like Free Cycle and like neighborhood markets, plant swaps.
Yeah,
there's ways to get plants for free.
Acquire plants for free.
Steal them from your restaurants. Ask.
Steal them from your restaurants.
Well, restaurants have plants in them sometimes.
Oh, my brain just went to like things you were getting in food. I was like from your meals.
Yes, the little bit of cilantro that I got on my
sprig
pasta.
of rosemary. Take that home with you.
Yeah, propagate that. No, there's ways to get plants for cheap or free.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'd still rather the space, but maybe that's because I live somewhere that's like quite cramped as it is.
And you already have a really big collection.
Yeah.
And also then if you've got less plants but in a really big space, then you can really bring out their full potential and like grow them huge and like have this amazing jungly tower of plants.
Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah, me too.
This one was very evenly split as well. I'm not surprised on that. 52-48.
Nice.
So,
interesting how some of these really divide people and other ones people are very united.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Would you rather accidentally kill a 200-pound plant or have to nurse a pest-ridden plant back to health for a whole year?
Ooh.
Both of them would suck.
Yeah. And like I think it depends on the plant. Because sometimes
it's a 200-pound plant that you like.
But like with the plant with pests, if it was, for example, my Portadora, it's a pest magnet.
Well, it's the same question. Is your 200-pound Monstera versus your Portadora
but
with pest
one I really
for
care
a year
about, and so I would stick with that. But hypothetically, if another plant that I didn't care as much about,
you have to deal with the plant for a year, or you kill something for 200 pounds.
Again, if it came down, oh God, I don't know. What would you do?
That sounds really bad. I think I'd rather kill the 200-pound plant.
I don't think that sounds bad.
I think I'd rather do that. The amount of, like, it would just, like, kill me over time to just be, like, having to plod on, trying to take care of this plant, like, month after month after month. I would just get so tired and, like, so downtrodden that I just don't think I could handle it. And I would end up probably binning the plant.
Yeah.
So it's like if I'm losing a plant either way, as much as it would suck to like lose 200 pounds just like that, at least it's like over and done with.
Yeah.
I don't want to draw out my pain.
Yeah, like also, I think when you've got a plant that's had pests, I mean, even for like a few months consistently, it's like, oh my God, it does. For me anyway, like it does make me somewhat like the plant less because it becomes something you associate with stress.
Yeah.
I would probably lean the same way as you, to be honest, but that's a tricky one.
The weird thing is 61% of people would rather the pests. More people would rather the pests.
Oh, how strange.
I find that so strange, given I feel like it's easier for me to say because I don't actually have any plants that are worth 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Or that I paid 200 pounds for. They might be worth 200 pounds now, but...
Again, I guess it depends on like what you associate that with though, because like if your 200-pound plant is your prized possession that you love more than anything.
Yeah.
Or if you bought it for 200 quid a while ago and it's okay and you know you spent the money, but
okay, but if you think about it in terms of time treating the plant and how much you value your time, if you spend an hour every other week for a year treating a plant, and depending on how much you value your time at, that the cost of that is going to be more than £200.
Yeah,
I think
that's a lot.
like as bad as it is, you could rebuy the plant for £200.
Yeah, true.
And then you wouldn't have to deal with the pests.
True that.
I was very surprised by that answer.
I'm surprised by that as well. I was not expecting that in the slightest.
No. This one, there might be some follow-up questions on. Would you rather only have variegated plants or only have fenestrated plants? So like you can't have the other if you have one. So the follow-up question would be, could you have your Thai constellation? No, because it's got fenestrations.
Ah, I didn't even consider that. Interesting. But maybe you could have it in a small form. Just would never be able to
Yeah, it would never fenestrate.
grow it past a certain point.
Yeah.
I mean, neither of those things for me are deal breakers. I know some people love variegation more than anything, and some people get so happy when their plant fenestrates. I think I'd probably choose the variegation just when I think about the plants that I like in my collection more. But that I don't feel like passionately one way or another. What do you think?
It's really, really difficult. Part of me wants to say fenestrations because I wouldn't want to have a baby Thai that never gets mature. I would feel so bad about that.
Yeah.
I'd rather be able to grow plants to maturity and see them grow up and like the dubia.
Yeah.
Imagine if you could have that, but you could only, I mean, it's quite nice just shingling, but like once it gets to that point where it's fenestrating, it's like, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd rather have that. And in theory, depending on the variegation on plants, it's not always stable. Like it means the plant's weaker and can't photosynthesize as well. So I kind of think I'd pick fenestrations. I don't have tons of fenestrated plants. I think I have more variegated than fenestrated plants in my collection.
Oh, interesting.
And I think I would take fenestrations. I don't know why. That feels weird that I would choose that. But
I understand that though, and also I guess you feel like you're really kind of like bringing out the best in your plants and allowing it to reach full maturity. And whereas with variegation, obviously it can be variegated forever and not necessarily be the healthiest plant or not necessarily be reaching its full potential. So yeah, I understand that.
Most people said they want variegation. 67%, 2/3 of people.
Interesting. There's more of a hype around variegation than there is around fenestration though, isn't there?
Absolutely. And like, I think variegation's beautiful, but I think of the types of variegation as well, I kind of only like one of the 3 types. I don't like pink, I don't like yellow, I only like the white variegation. And even then, I prefer minty mottled variegation to sectoral.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm really limiting my plants at that point.
I just think about the plants that I'd have to sacrifice if I chose one or the other. And based on my collection right now, I think I would prefer to sacrifice my fenestrated plants as opposed to my variegated plants.
Yeah. Yeah, like you wouldn't want to get rid of your, not to keep bringing up the variegated Syrian.
I think it's just on my mind.
Yeah, but I feel like you'd rather get rid of the foraminifera. Like, obviously it would suck, but I feel like you could more easily part with that than with your variegated Syrian.
100%, and like the musa and stuff. I don't want to get rid of that.
Yeah. It's hard.
It is.
Okay, would you rather spend £500 on one plant or £500 on 20 plants?
In general, 20. Right now, this is just assuming I've got 500 quid to spare.
Oh yeah, in this hypothetical universe.
Right now, I think I'd pick the one. I think I'd just pick the one.
Yeah.
Just for wanting to keep things easier.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think in this current moment, I think same. Because you could just get like a giant Monstera Bulbasaur for 500. Not giant, like a decent sized one for 500, and like that would be that. And then it wouldn't be that much space. But like 20 separate more plants to take care of.
Yeah, that feels like stress right now.
But I feel like that's coming from a point of like we have big collections already.
Yeah.
And we're in a point in our journey where we're not necessarily looking to add new things to the collection that often.
Yeah, if I was starting from scratch, I'd absolutely go for that.
If you'd asked me last year, I probably would have said something different. I think unsurprisingly, more people said they would rather buy 20 plants.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think more often in my collecting journey, I would have picked that than I would the one plant for 500.
I'm totally with you. Yeah, me too.
But
100%.
right in this moment.
Yeah, I mean, your circumstances just change, don't they? And sometimes you're going to want to bring in loads of things, and like it's the loads of things that excite you.
Yeah.
And other times, like just having a few new things to focus on is really nice as well.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather have fast growth but tons of fungus gnats, or slow growth and no gnats?
So you can't like treat the fungus gnats.
I mean, you could constantly treat them, but they're still just going to be a lot.
I mean, then yeah, I'd have slow growth. I'd have slow growth. Would you do differently?
I kind of like when my plants grow.
Yeah, no, I was going to say I love that as well, but fungus gnats are such a pain.
Yeah, but like they don't actually affect the like. They don't really like. They're not so bad in this scenario that I've imagined that they're like eating the roots of your plant. They're not causing your plants harm. They're just like annoying for you.
It's more just like if you have someone over that's not a planty person.
You're assuming I have people over.
Or yeah, but like if you're just eating dinner and they're like boom, 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 boom.
Protein.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm just like have sticky traps around. Like it'd be annoying. It'd be something for Cosmo to play with.
True.
He would love it.
True. I would go no gnats, I think. Although it would be sad to lose the growth. How slow are we talking?
Slow. Just slow.
Okay.
60% of people agree with you.
Okay.
40% agree with me. Ha. Sorry, the battery died. But I've got 3 more questions, one of which is the one that so many of you messaged me saying you would not want either. So I'm excited to get to that one.
Ooh.
But this next one is, would you rather have plants from only one genus or only have one plant from each genre?
Oh.
This is a hard one.
This is a really hard one.
And like if you could only have one genus, which would it be?
That's the thing. I don't know.
I think personally I would go one from each genus. But that's hard as well because there's only so many.
Yeah. I was gonna say it would be between alocasia and anthurium for me right now, I think.
Yeah. Oh my god, only having one alocasia?
I know. But also anthurium is so diverse.
I think I'd rather alocasia.
Yeah, you're more of an alocasia
I
person.
am than anthuriums.
See, I love my anthuriums.
Oh my god, would I only have alocasia? Would I rather only have alocasia than anything else?
They've all got a very similar structure, so that would mean you couldn't have any climbing plants. You couldn't have like. Whereas if I think about anthurium as a genus, you've got lots of. You've got trailing plants, kind of dangling plants. You've got creeping plants. You've got climbers.
Oh,
it's really hard.
But you think you'd rather have only one?
I'm kind of thinking out loud here, but I think anthurium could potentially tick
a lot of
boxes, and it would then mean I didn't need to get rid of loads of my anthuriums that I love. But then, yeah.
This one's a really hard one.
It is. It is really tricky.
I still think probably one of each genus wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but then you wouldn't really have that many plants.
Well, I mean,
there's lots of genre out there.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, actually, like quite a curated collection would be quite nice.
Yeah. I'm really stuck on that one. That one's maybe really indecisive.
Okay, do you want to know what the public have said?
Yes.
Okay, the public have said 63% of people would want one from each. 37% would want all plants of one genus. So more people want one of each, which I think makes sense.
It does, for a diverse collection.
Yeah, I feel like I would probably get bored with only having one, especially since I think it would be alocasia for me, or epipremnums. Like, at least with epipremnums, you could have trailing and then climbing.
Yeah.
But I think I would get quite bored with that, as opposed to if you have one from each.
Yeah, I think that's probably the more sensible. Like, I'm also just looking around at and I'm like, Syngonium, alocasia, Hoya, anthurium, whatever it's
Cactus.
called. Cactus. Yeah, like that. I guess maybe that is the way. But the thought of,
It'd be hard.
yeah, it'd be hard.
I'm gonna save the most controversial one for last because it's fun. Okay. But would you rather have a dedicated plant room with no natural light, or natural light throughout your whole home but no dedicated space?
I feel like I would want all the light in my home and have plants everywhere. That would be the dream. But I also know how my brain works, and I do care for things better when they're in a shared space. I just do.
Yeah.
So that makes me go maybe a plant room with just like grow lights. But then the thought of not having a planty rest of the home makes me sad.
Yeah.
I'm suddenly very indecisive. That's a tricky question.
So I've never actually had a plant room. I've only ever had throughout my whole house. So I don't know what it would be like to have a plant room. I'm assuming it would make things easier. One day maybe I would love to have one, but if that meant not having natural light, I think I wouldn't like that very much. I think I'd rather just have natural light and then my plants spread out.
Yeah, so I think it would have to be a very well thought out
plant room grow light setup.
Grow light setup. Oh, but then also you are compromising the fact you're going to have a dark, dingy rest of your house. And
yeah, selfishly, I want the natural light for me.
Yes.
In addition to the plants.
Yeah, I am more productive, I think, in a space that is more like filled with light.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So yeah, I think I'd go with that.
Yeah. 80% of people want the natural light.
Yeah.
I think that
and
makes
you could
sense.
then also just like make little plant corners or like just have a really planty living room.
That's what I have in my house.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been doing it for the last 7 years and it's been fine. Yeah, but having a dedicated plant room, oh, one day.
Yeah.
Okay, the final question, the most controversial. Would you rather have root rot forever or thrips forever? Oh. So many people messaged me saying they refuse to answer the question because they want either.
To what degree? Like
the degree.
I would go thrips.
I think I would as well.
Because I'm like, I deal with them all the time anyway.
Yeah. Root rot would like absolutely kill your plants.
Yeah.
And trying to save from root rot would mean like starting things over and over again.
Yeah.
Whereas at least with thrips, like you could mitigate them.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thought.
Yeah. Or like constantly have like biological pest control or like the things that kind of keep them at bay. Your plants will still have thrips, but it's not bringing them down.
They can tolerate a little bit of damage.
Unlike plants in the natural environment encounter predators anyway.
Yeah.
So that would be my... I don't want either, but that would be my preference.
I think root rot would be worse. Also, it would smell.
Oh.
Your house, I don't want my house to smell all the time.
And you'd constantly be having to like unpot everything and be like, oh no, not again. And yeah, it would be the worst.
I'm quite surprised. It was a 50-50 split.
Oh my God.
51-49.
I'm really surprised about that as well.
Yeah. I'm surprised that half of you are picking root rot.
Although I guess like maybe if you don't deal with thrips that often, or you've had like an
really terrible time
thrip infestation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, unfun, hellish world we're living in if that's the case.
Yeah, you're right. I would want neither, but it's the lesser of two evils,
I suppose. Yeah. But that was fun.
That was fun.
Thanks for playing with me.
Fun. And me.
No, I'm thanking you for playing with me.
Sorry.
Thank you for playing with me.
Thank you, and thank you.
And thank you for playing along as well and sharing your answers.
That was very fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
We should get people to comment some would you rather questions for next time and then we can do it again.
Yes, we can do it again in the future. Yeah, put more would you rathers down below in the comments. We could do a part 2 in the future. Perfect. And play again. I can play with you again over on Instagram and just have more
play with you as well.
Plenty fun time. Anyways, I'm here at Claire's, by the way, to do plant chores. We're going to be sorting out her Pallidiflorum. So
it's next on the list.
Definitely go. I will link her video down below in the description. Go check that out if you haven't already. And Go check out Claire because she's awesome and we love her. And I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and comment, like you said, more would you rathers, any other plant things you'd like me to talk about in the future, and subscribe for more. I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye!